Now on Nightside, major traffic changes are coming to North Spokane's Ash Street. The reason why and how it might affect your commute.
The clouds are back and the rain is not far behind. I'll let you know when to expect the wet weather where you live in the first alert forecast.
And the investigation into the double-decker bus crash has been reopened. STA CEO explains why. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, major changes are coming to one of Spokane's main arteries. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Derek Dice. The changes will be on the north stretch of Ash Street. The Maple Ash Couplet project was supposed to reduce wide lanes on 2 heavily used one-way streets in North Spokane, Maple and Ash. But due to tight funding, the city will only be repainting the lanes on Ash for now. In some places, the lanes are 20 feet wide, so the city is narrowing them to 11 feet. It says these reductions will slow drivers down and cause fewer crashes. The city says some residents who live along this street have complained about fast cars and, in some cases, crashes right into people's homes.
Council members Zappone and Klitsky have been very focused on traffic safety, and they've told me stories that they've talked to folks that live on that stretch and have had cars end up in their front yard.
With several extra feet being shaved off of these lanes, the city plans to add curbside parking. Now, city leaders do know that curbside parking is already available on this stretch, but they say most people aren't aware of it. They also believe it will help slow traffic down and create a barrier between the street and the front yards of homes. Well, here's a live look at the intersection of Highway 195 and Meadow Lane Road in Latah Valley. Construction began today to redesign that intersection, eliminating highway crossings and putting in a J-turn. Meadow Lane has been reduced to 1 lane. The project is expected to wrap up in mid to late July. The Spokane Transit Authority announced this evening that it's reopening its investigation into the double-decker bus crash. The CEO of STA, Carl Otterstrom, says it discovered earlier today that a call was made to dispatch on the day of that crash about software showing route discrepancies for one of the buses. Because of this, it's reopening the investigation to learn what dispatch did with that information. Otterstrom says it will be pursuing an independent review to validate the completeness of the investigation. In a statement, he writes, "Safety is our paramount responsibility. We are committed to being transparent about what we learn and making any changes necessary to strengthen the systems and culture that support the safety of our passengers and employees." All right, after a weekend of sunshine, we're expecting some rain tomorrow. Here's Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with the timeline for it.
That's right. It is on the way by at least mid-morning, if not before. We've got the clouds in place right now, and the rain is not far behind. As we take a look at our forecast radar, by 9 a.m., a good chance of showers in Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, and points to the north. We could see sprinkles even before that time, but things will really get going by mid-morning into the afternoon. Here's 3 o'clock, kids getting out of school with a good chance of steady rain in North Idaho and into Spokane, down into Pullman. We begin drying out in the evening, and by this time tomorrow, we should be completely dry and even have a little bit of clearing, leaving behind measurable rain in many locations, over a 1/4 inch in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, 3/4 of an inch in Sandpoint, St. Mary's, and Pullman. Also getting some good beneficial rains and measurable rain through the Columbia Basin up through the Waterville Plateau. Despite the precipitation, temperatures will be right about average through the region, in the 60s from Dayton through Grangeville, also in Moses Lake, 48 in Winthrop and Sandpoint, and 51 in Coeur d'Alene, 53 in downtown Spokane, Meade, Millwood, as well as Spokane Valley, 52 officially in Spokane. That's exactly average, with rain likely. Winds picking up briefly in the afternoon, southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour, with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. There's some sunshine to tell you about in the 7-day forecast, and a weekend I think you'll like. That's coming up.
This is going to be Darling. He's got to go. Darling puts it up.
Spokane's own Dylan Darling hit the game-winning shot to send St. John's to the Sweet 16 last night. But before Darling was hitting clutch shots for St. John's, he was the 4A State Player of the Year at Central Valley High School. Darling's coaches from Hooptown Elite say he was unstoppable going to the basket in high school, so it doesn't surprise them to see him hit a big shot in the tournament like he did over the weekend. One of his coaches, who saw him hit the game winner live yesterday, says this is a huge moment for basketball in the Inland Northwest.
Coach to trust to put him in there with a couple minutes left, and then him obviously get able to get downhill and make a play was unbelievable. So it was quite a cool moment for a coach and then parent and all the other things. So.
Blake Buchanan of Coeur d'Alene is also advancing to the Sweet 16 with Iowa State. Buchanan was the State Player of the Year for Idaho in 2023 as a senior at Lake City High School. Well, the last perfect March Madness bracket was busted yesterday. Tennessee's win over Virginia eliminated it. That bracket made it through 44 games, though. That's one game farther than last year's last perfect bracket. More than 36 million brackets were tracked across 7 major online gaming sites. According to NCAA data, nobody has ever picked a perfect March Madness bracket. I think the odds are something like in the trillions. Like it's ridiculous to try to get all 63 right. All right, Mia Green is here now, and Mia, the Seahawks have made some big moves in their wide receiver group.
Yep, they extended Jackson Smith-Njigba and re-signed Jake Bobo. A 4-year deal for Smith-Njigba and a 2-year for Bobo. And it's safe to say the Hawks fans are happy the two wideouts had made a big impact this season. A 4-year extension for Jackson Smith-Njigba that's worth $168.8 million. With $120 million guaranteed, this makes him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. And he earned that with his historic 2025 season. He led the NFL with 119 reception yards, 1,793 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. Those numbers made him the 2025 NFL Offensive Player of the Year, becoming just the second player in franchise history to win the award. Smith-Njigba set Seattle franchise records for both receptions and receiving yards, and he's now locked in with the Hawks until 2031. But that's not the only move the Hawks made today. They officially brought back wide receiver Jake Bobo. Bobo signed a 2-year offer sheet on Friday with the Jacksonville Jaguars, giving the Seahawks 5 days to match, and they did just that. According to NFL Network, the offer sheet is worth $5.5 million with $4.5 million guaranteed. Bobo's impact came in clutch moments. He scored a 17-yard touchdown in the NFC Championship, his one of 2 receptions in the 2025 season. Bobo served as a special teams contributor as well. And we have so much more in sports later in the show, from hoops to baseball, so don't miss it. But for now, back to you, Derek.
All right, Mia, thank you. Spokane police are investigating a shooting that happened early yesterday morning on East Wellesley near Rogers High School. According to police, 2 people were shot and one of those victims died. We've reached out to SPD for any information on a possible suspect or any other information at all in this case. At last check, we hadn't heard anything back, but we will be sure to update you as we learn more. Now, this was the scene at LaGuardia Airport in New York last night after a plane crashed into a firefighting truck. The collision left both the pilot and the co-pilot dead. Now, an investigation is underway to figure out how this happened. Here's ABC's Alex Stone with the latest.
This is the moment caught on video when the Air Canada regional jet was speeding down the runway at LaGuardia Airport, traveling at up to 105 miles an hour when it slammed into a Port Authority firefighting vehicle that was responding to a separate incident.
I want to extend my sympathies to the families of the 2 pilots. These were 2 young men at the start of their careers.
The captain and first officer both killed. The front of the plane demolished. 4 crew members and 72 passengers were on board. At least 41 people were taken to hospitals after the crash at around 11:45 Sunday night.
We were honestly sleeping and then landing, and then all of a sudden, boom, woke up in shock.
Audio recordings indicate the fire truck had requested permission and had been cleared by air traffic control to cross runway 4. Listen to Truck 1 talking with the tower.
Truck 1 and Company with LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
But at that very moment, Air Canada Express Flight 8646 from Montreal coming in for a landing on that very same runway. Listen to the controller trying to tell the truck to stop.
Stop, 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 Truck 1, stop, stop, stop. Stop, Truck 1, Stop.
The airport immediately closed and hundreds of flights were canceled. The NTSB is now on scene investigating and the black boxes have been recovered.
The emergency responders cut a hole on the roof of the aircraft, dropped down, and was able to get the CVR and FDR for us.
At the time of the crash, there was mist and fog at LaGuardia. Air Canada says the airline is focused on caring for those affected.
When LaGuardia was shut down, it impacted flights far outside of New York. Airlines are now waiving rebooking fees and issuing travel alerts for LaGuardia flights. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, immigration and customs enforcement agents arrived at more than a dozen of the nation's busiest airports today. President Trump says it was his idea as call-outs and resignations from TSA agents rise due to the partial government shutdown that's left workers without pay since mid-February. Border Czar Tom Homan says the ICE agents will help TSA in areas that don't need their specialized expertise, like screening through X-ray machines.
ICE was my idea. First person I called was Tom Homan. I said, what do you think? He said, I think it's great.
Congress is expected to take a spring recess at the end of the week that could potentially leave the DHS shutdown unresolved until April. Still ahead, we're expecting midweek rain followed by some sunshine. We'll tell you how to prepare for the week and our full first alert forecast coming up after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
You've come to expect more from 4 News Now, and we're giving it to you. Now the team you trust is also on Fox 28. More breaking news, more stories that matter, more from the First Alert Weather Team. More ways to watch 4 News Now on Fox 28. Expect more.
There's so many deals happening this March at Findlay Downtown Toyota. I had to recruit some backup. Backup is here, and so are the savings. We've lowered prices on our website. New or used, if it's online, it's on sale. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade-in, and we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. That's right, no catch, no pressure. Just a great time to get a great price on a new or used vehicle from Findlay.
Findlay Toyota's downtown.
Morning. It's just in the neighborhood. Noticed your windows could use a little.
Not interested.
Really, ma'am, honestly, I just need 5 minutes of your time. Trust me. Where you go?
Tired of the high-pressure sales pitch? We're not those guys. At Northwest Window & Door, you'll love our no-pressure sales approach. And we sell the highest quality Marvin windows and doors. Get 3 quotes, make sure one's ours. You'll be glad you did.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle. And that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
This show is wonderful, Jimmy.
You're defending democracy.
Yes! People have spoken. There's a lot more to come, so save your energy here.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Check out career opportunities at Future Ready Trades Night, April 1st.
I don't know what this is, but I say this might be a meteor.
A woman in Texas says a piece of a meteor smashed through her roof on Saturday. NASA confirmed that a 1-ton meteor was in the region and released the energy equivalent of 26 tons of TNT into the sky. She says she's going to send the fragment to NASA to try to confirm its authenticity and then work on getting her roof repaired.
Oh my goodness. If it's not hail, it's meteors. Poor people in Texas.
Everything's big there, right?
Yes.
All right, we've got rain heading our way and like very soon.
Yes, by tomorrow morning. I keep saying if you wake up and it isn't raining, still grab your rain jacket because we're not talking about a few sprinkles here, a few sprinkles there like it has been. It'll be steady, meaningful rain. Our temperatures right now, 48 in Spokane. It's 43 degrees in Coeur d'Alene with overcast conditions around the region. Most locations are still in the 40s. In fact, just look out past down in the 30s. Thanks to those clouds, we are cooling down slowly and quite a bit warmer than this time last night. We dropped down to 30 this morning. Tomorrow morning, we are going to still be in the 40s, so we are talking about rain and not snow with this wet weather. It's 14 degrees warmer in Moses Lake right now than at this time yesterday, 8 degrees warmer in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 9 degrees warmer right now in Sandpoint. 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be rainy on Tuesday, breezy Wednesday, wind gusts to 30 miles per hour, bright blue skies Thursday and Friday, and we've got some warmer weather ahead this weekend. Our chance of precipitation really jumps once we're into mid-morning tomorrow, and we will see that steady precipitation. Here's what's going on. We have a front on the way that's going to start bringing showers to the region tomorrow morning over the Cascades, but it might take into mid-morning to get into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Will rain most of the day. Here's 9:30 tomorrow, and then our cold front comes through. Behind it, breezy conditions, and once we get, here's 8 a.m. Wednesday, into the heat of the afternoon Wednesday, we'll start to see some hit and miss showers. Wouldn't rule out a little grapple, potentially a rumble of thunder, as is typical this time of year, but only a 20% chance of measurable rain because those showers will be hit and miss. 100% chance of rain tomorrow, 0 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then back up with a slight chance on Sunday and Monday. Temperatures, we will be around average Tuesday, Wednesday, then a dip as cooler air comes in behind our front, warming right back up, finally in the 60s for Saturday and Sunday. Good timing for a warm-up. Good timing for some blue skies on the way for the weekend. Finally, I have a pick of the night to share with you. This is from Stuart Miller and a beautiful shot that he captured on Sunday, which was yesterday. Today's Monday, of the river. It's not going to be one of those epic years with a strong runoff, but it still is roaring already as the snow melts in the mountains, and I loved those blue skies. It was a great weekend across the inland Northwest, and it looks like we have some more pretty days ahead, Derek.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, over the holiday season, the Spokane community came out in a big way to support local organizations. The Light the World giving machine in the Spokane Valley Mall allowed people to purchase items like food and clothing to be donated directly to nonprofits like Second Harvest and Vanessa Behan. In total, people donated more than $227,000 to 7 different organizations in our area.
They might get a supply for 1 month, but they can't get 3 months, or they're back ordered for a few weeks and then they're without their hormones.
Next on Nightside, manufacturers are scrambling to meet hormone patch demand, why the patches are disappearing from shelves, and what women can do now.
Later tonight on Nightline, the deadly plane crash at one of America's busiest airports, plus the latest fallout from Justin Timberlake's Hamptons arrest video, fumbling field sobriety test after being pulled over for suspected DWI.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
After a car wreck, Big Insurance moves fast to protect themselves, not you. That's why it's critical to call us as soon as possible.
With Craig Swap & Associates, we make sure the process is fair for you.
I knew I really needed help after my accident, so I called Craig Swap & Associates. They not only fought for me, but treated me fairly every step of the way.
The sooner you call us, the faster we can make things right. One call, that's all.
Call the 9s. 509-999-9999.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, and Trail Watch. All from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a 2.49% APR on a 2026 CR-V.
Hi, I'm Congressman Michael Baumgartner. One of my jobs is to help veterans navigate the VA and to help all of you cut through the red tape at federal agencies, including the VA, Medicare, Social Security, the IRS, and USDA. Remember, I work for you.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Style or substance. Somehow it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get this low mileage lease on this Sierra Elevation for around $399 per month.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
All right, welcome back. Planned Parenthoods across the state say they're no longer panicking after the state budget restored more than $8 million in abortion access funding. Last year, that funding was cut, putting services, staff, and clinic hours at risk. This was happening at the same time as the federal government ended Medicaid funding for Planned Parenthoods, and clinics across eastern Washington were seeing a spike in patients from out of state.
20,000 visits last year we see in Spokane, the Valley, and Pullman. So many of those patients are coming from Idaho, and it's important to remember well over 90% of what we do is not abortion. So it's cancer screenings, birth control screenings, helping people who are pregnant and are really excited to become parents.
Now, with the state covering an $11 million gap left by federal Medicaid cuts and restoring the abortion access funds, the CEO of Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho says they're now able to hire staff and grow their services. Menopause affects millions of women, and many of them are turning to hormone therapy for relief. But a new problem is emerging as pharmacies can't keep the popular patches in stock. Years ago, a study incorrectly linked hormone treatments to serious health risks. A warning label discouraged women and doctors from using them. That label was removed last year, though, when the study was proven wrong. And now, demand for these patches has skyrocketed.
Women are demanding the products, so it's actually a good thing in the long run, but not so great when you're trying to get your hormones because you have terrible night sweats and can't sleep.
Dr. Kelly Mathias says it could be a year before manufacturers catch up. Her clinic is finding alternatives like hormone creams and pills to help patients manage symptoms while the patches remain scarce. All right, now for some of our top trending stories in the 4 News Now Story Tracker. Kids in the Inland Northwest can explore real construction equipment at the 7th annual Dozer Day at Cabela's State Line. It gives kids the chance to operate real equipment under the guidance of professionals. It takes place on May 2nd and 3rd from 11 to 4. Tickets are $12. Kids 2 and under can get in free. Next, a mechanical issue forced Hayden Meadow Elementary School into lockdown this morning. Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says the issue triggered the school's safety protocols, which contacted law enforcement and put students and staff into lockdown. After checking the school and determining there was no threat, school returned to normal operations by mid-morning. And topping our list, KXLY's historic radio tower on the South Hill has been demolished, taken apart. The tower was built in 1937. Apartments and a shopping center are now expected to be built on this land. It's right across from the South Hill Target. Developers say it'll include 153 units of housing in total. The retail stores and restaurants are expected to move in late next year or in 2028. You can find each of these stories and much more at KXLY.com. Well, taxes are on a lot of people's minds right now, and with the shifting economy and rising costs, every dollar counts. But thousands here in Spokane County have yet to apply for a refund program that could put money right back into their wallets. It's called the Working Families Tax Credit. The program was specifically created to help offset rising costs in Washington. The application for the 2025 tax year opened just over a month ago, and the State Department of Revenue's website shows almost 10,000 eligible people in Spokane County have yet to apply. Those who have worked on the program say the benefits have been clear.
We've heard so many stories about whether it's, back to school time and we need to look at, clothing or getting the kids ready for school, whether it's, applying for this credit and getting it just in time for the holidays, being able to buy gifts or do a celebration.
Now, there are certain qualifications applicants have to meet, including being between 25 and 65 years old, having lived in the state for a year, and falling within an income threshold to qualify. The maximum credit you can receive is $1,030. The program is retroactive, meaning you can get credit for previous years. All right, we've got some big news in college basketball. Randy Bennett is stepping away from St. Mary's.
And after more than 2 decades, he is now the head coach of Arizona State. And the rivalry with the Gonzaga Bulldogs defined his career. When we come back, we'll show you how Bennett built a team that went toe-to-toe with the Zags. Stick with us.
Tonight, we're going to do this together.
And that's my golden rule of improv. If you don't know what to say, just play dumb.
Be the dumb guy?
Yeah, just be the dumb guy.
That's a smart thing for a dumb guy to figure out.
Right?
Yeah.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Center.
Everything he told me was a lie. I was betrayed. What happens when the person you love the most?
It was a beautiful wedding. It's a true fairy tale.
Turns out not to be who you think they are.
He's been living a secret double life.
This is betrayal.
So many people are living with their own betrayal.
My marriage ended with a 911 call.
The tape is blood-curdling.
It was a terrifying situation.
Betrayal, Secrets, and Lies. Premieres Sunday on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
Truck Month only happens once a year.
So it's gotta be big.
Like available Pro Power on board big.
Protect it with the Ford Security Package big. Biggest deals of the year big.
There's only one, Ford Truck Month.
Deal's so good, we need a bigger door big.
Oh, yeah.
And now get 0% APR for 60 months with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days. Plus $1,000 Truck Month cash on select Ford vehicles.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
You too can get back out there with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Thank you.
I got this.
Thanks. I'm Alex.
I'm Jade.
St. Mary's basketball is entering a new era beginning tonight, and although the Gonzaga Bulldogs will no longer be a part of the West Coast Conference, the rivalry between the Zags and the Gales ran deep. After more than 2 decades, Randy Bennett is moving on from St. Mary's to take the head coaching job at Arizona State. Big news for Gonzaga fans, as the Gales became the Bulldogs' biggest rivals under Bennett and were a consistent threat to the Zags. The two programs dominated the West Coast Conference and even shared this season's WCC title. After the Gales' loss in the first round, the now former head coach was visibly frustrated and spoke about what went wrong in that game.
I would say it's more contributed to the immaturity of our team, and we've been battling that all year. And I told our guys, listen, for regular season, I was really proud of them. We went 27-4, really incredible. But after that, we weren't.
The Gales and the Bulldogs rivalry has also come to a close as Gonzaga departs the WCC for the Pac-12. And for the Bulldogs, this season cemented Graham Ike as one of the most dominant players in all of college basketball. Ike averaged over 19 points a game, recorded 14 double-doubles, and reached double-digit scoring in all but one game all season. Gonzaga's big man finished the year as the nation's leading scorer with over 2,500 points, and his 1,100 rebounds ranked second. His dominance earned him the WCC Player of the Year, All-Conference, and All-American honors from the U.S. Basketball Writers Association and Associated Press. After Gonzaga's loss in the round of 32, the star forward shared a heartfelt statement about his time as a Zag.
I'm just extremely grateful for Coach, the rest of the staff, for allowing me to be part of such a great legacy. And to my teammates, I can't thank them enough for always having my back. The fans always having our back. Special season, special 3 years here that will forever be ingrained in my heart and my mind. So I'm just grateful.
Although Graham Ike's time with the Zags is over, there's plenty of pride for the accomplishments throughout the season, regardless of Saturday's loss in the big dance. And as for the Gonzaga baseball team, they're going to host the Washington State Cougs tomorrow. The history between the two stretches back a long ways, and the last time these two faced off was in May of last year. Gonzaga won the last two meetings, one in Pullman and the other in Spokane. Fast forward to this season's teams, they have similar records overall. The Bulldogs come into this one with a 9-12 record on a 2-game win streak, while the Cougs are on a 3-game win streak with 10-12 record. One of those streaks will end here in Spokane tomorrow night, in Washington State right fielder Matt Priest spoke about the Cougs' style of play.
Our motto is just like putting pressure on the defense. We're a pretty fast team, so if the ball's on the ground, we know we can make something happen for the most part. So it's kind of our approach. And then obviously we can also hit the ball pretty hard, but just knowing our game, staying within ourselves, and just kind of doing our thing.
The Washington State Cougs and the Gonzaga Bulldogs will face off here in Spokane tomorrow, with first pitch set for 6 p.m. And for the love of baseball, we are just 3 short days away from opening day for the Mariners, who will host the Cleveland Guardians for a 4-game series before hosting the New York Yankees on next Monday and Tuesday. That is 6 days straight of Mariners baseball at T-Mobile Park to open up the season, and coming off of a historic one too, reaching the championship series and finishing 1 round short of the World Series. The M's sure kept their fans on the edge of their seats all season long, and there's so much to look forward to in the days to come. And Derek, we're so excited for baseball season. 3 days away is really crazy. I mean, we can actually kind of say 2 in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think like one of the more excited that Mariners fans have been for a season in a long, long time, because we didn't really see last year coming ahead of time. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on GMA, Miley Cyrus takes you home for the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana.
It's like getting an additional birthday.
And Lionel, Luke, and Carrie live. Plus, this week, Vince Vaughn.
That's awesome.
This week, only on
Good Morning America.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
No snow means it's time to start that new fencing project. Get on our schedule now. Wood, iron, chain link, and vinyl fencing. Doing it yourself? Stop by our new location for everything you need. Northwest Fence. Nobody builds them better.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow. Awesome. Cool.
Sweet. Nice. Hey! I like your dress.
You look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you...
Right now, you can lease a new 2026 Tacoma for $299 a month. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
You know, Donnie, when people hire the advocates, they don't just get me and you. They get a whole team of attorneys and paralegals ready to jump in and fight.
Gathering evidence, shutting down aggressive insurance adjusters.
Do what it takes.
Right. Hey, Ken, I'm ordering lunch. What do you want?
What are you getting?
A sandwich and potato soup.
There, you said it. Potato.
Ken, I'm joking. Nobody says it that way.
Injured? You deserve an advocate.
Advocate.
Style or substance? Somehow it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get this low mileage lease on this Sierra Elevation for around $399 per month.
See your local GMC dealer.
No snow means it's time to start that new fencing project. Get on our schedule now. Wood, iron, chain link, and vinyl fencing. Doing it yourself? Stop by our new location for everything you need. Northwest Fence. Nobody builds them better.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Maui, demigod of the wind and sea.
Hero of men.
Disney has released a new trailer for the upcoming live-action film version of Moana. The new trailer reveals Dwayne Johnson back as Maui, the demigod he originally voiced in the 2016 animated hit. Catherine Lagaaia will be playing Moana. The film hits theaters this July.
That looks good. Your 7-day forecast includes rain on Tuesday. That is tomorrow. Expect rain throughout the day. If you're going to stay dry at all, it's going to be in the morning. On Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with only a slight chance of some afternoon showers. Then a couple of blue sky days. That blue almost looks like there's no weather on those days. Maybe I just need to have one cloud drifting through so it doesn't look like I forgot to put something.
Suffice to say, it's going to be pretty good.
Yes.
And a little breather between weekends of the NCAA tournament. But like you said, baseball's kicking into full gear now.
Yes, and I am ready.
Yeah,
I am so ready.
We got a fantasy baseball draft tomorrow night. It's a lot of pressure. All right, thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow.